All right, guys, let's try to do this data class now. In the first thing, we have this public static final int. Someone said, what's final? It's just a variable that cannot be changed later, right? So think of like a constant value you want to have. They're just calling it max. They're not saying what it is. I just set it to integer.max value, so I wouldn't get an error. And then we have this two-dimensional array called grid. We want to now repopulate this two-dimensional array with values anywhere between 1 and max inclusive, but the value must be divisible by 10, and the value must be not divisible by 100. So to me, this is a little weird and seems algorithmically a little complex. It's almost like a sub method to do this, and then call that as I go through the grid. But let's just see if we can figure this out. So I'm going to have some value, right? Value. I'm going to make it equal to math.random, random times max, and I could turn this into an int, right? What do you think? Now the only thing here is I turn this to an int, I would get 0 to 1 less than max as the potential values here. So I could just add 1 to this whole thing, or I could possibly multiply by max plus 1. No, I'd have to add 1 because I can still get 0 out of that, right? Anyways, I think it's going to be 1 to max inclusive, though, right? But this thing has to be divisible by 10. So I'm going to say, well, val is not equal to, val mod 10 is not equal to 0. Or val mod 100 equals 0. So I cannot have values evenly divisible by 100, right? So if that right side is the case, that value is true. I must have values that are easily divisible by 10. So if it's not easily divisible by 10, then that's going to value true. And basically then ultimately what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do this again. So I feel like that algorithm there is going to give me a kind of a good working value. But man, I have to do that like every single time. So I'm going to say for int I equals, better yet, let's say row. For row equals 0, row is less than grid length. Then I'm going to say for in column equals 0. And that's going to be while column is less than row. And then I'm going to say, really, I need to do this. I need to come up with a good value to put into the array. So that I'm going to do all of that work, and then I could say grid row column equals the value. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Okay, so now our second method is going to try to count the number of increasing columns that we've got here. So let's say public void. All right, so we have to go through each column by each row, and then every value has to be greater than or equal to the value before it. So I definitely need a variable to keep track of how many of these columns I have, right? I'm going to say I want my iteration to look like this for int column equals 0, column is less than grid. I'm just going to say index 0 rectangular column plus. And now I can say for a row row is less so I'm going to create a Boolean. I'm going to say it's true.
Because he was like Mr. and then John Prince is gone.
I'm going to say if I think I want this to be one less.
Okay, realistically,
is greater than row plus 1 column. But then I want my flag to be false, right? And then if I've gone through all of my rows and it's still true, I can increment the count, right? So if flag, then I'm actually kind of liking that.
our back at 8 p.m. last night, we're your side. I completely forgot.
Kind of liking that. Now this. I feel like that's going to work because there's one of the conditions is there's only one element in the row, but I'm setting flag to be true in the outer for loop. If I don't go through the inner for loop, that flag's still going to be true. So I'm feeling pretty good. That might actually be a working solution. Precondition grid is not null. Grid has at least one element. When they say grid is not null, I'm assuming that there's nothing null inside of it. Yeah, there's no null boxes or no null elements in it. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's see how that works. All right, so here we are. Let's see how we did here. So repopulate. So yeah, n value times 1. Wow, it's not equal to 10 or it's equal to 100. Oh, they did the same thing. Let's get a new value. And then when we're done with that, then we can go ahead and put it in there. And all looking good. All looking good. So, yeah, I feel like that's very similar. Increasing columns. So yeah, you need some variable to keep track of this. We are going to start by going to the columns. They create a Boolean variable also. They compared. So they started at 1 and went to the end. They started 1 and went to the end and compared the one after to the previous. But I feel like it's the same thing. And yeah, after going through all the rows, if your Boolean is still true, you can increment count. At the end of the day, you want to return count. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty similar. All right. Okay, so like I said, if you want to practice any more of these, I feel like it's the array list, and the 2D array one that are probably more difficult, I think, than the first two. So maybe try to get a little more practice with these guys. Yeah. Stop recording. Stop it.